Wow. Let me just take a moment. I don't want to overreact. I want to be objective in a way where to just dissect what we just witnessed tonight. It's a madness. Like, you know what they say? If you don't smile, you'll cry. Trust me. Because that one, like, I can't even speak, really. I can't speak, but we're going to talk about this. But yeah, Arsenal versus Man United at the Emirates. Let's get into it. 2026, this is my first video. I didn't think I wanted to put out a surprise out there to say that, look, I'm back. And I'm going to be recording quite often, literally after most games, Champions League and the league and cup games. I thought I'd come back on the camera and be like, yep, look, Arsenal got the job done, 7 points clear, move on to the next game. I did have this game as a hard game off of the back of what Man United did. Let's be totally honest. Man United have got the feel-good factor right now with Carrick being the interim. And you can see that. You can see that in the way they were playing last week. You could see that in this week. And they came with a different strategy this week, which you could tell, and it paid off. So credit to them, credit to Man United, firstly. Now, let's get into it. First half, if we're quite honest, 30 minutes, Arsenal were passing the ball. There wasn't really enough. The game was quite boring, if I'm honest. Arsenal were passing the ball from side to side. I think there was a header that came in from Zubimendi. The shot on target, I think that was one of the only shots on target of the first half. Then literally 30 minutes happened. As I said, I feel like nothing was punching or pushy through the lines of the Man United. Quite solid defensively, if I'm honest. And Arsenal showed the signs that they've been shown all seasons. When the game gets hard, they pass it from side to side, recycling the ball a lot. Same patterns of play, same things that we've been seeing as Arsenal fans all season. If you've been watching Arsenal, as I said, first 30 minutes, Arsenal were dominant. Man United started to get into a game a bit. Then the goal came. So the goal came from the first cross that we've seen from the fullback, Nketiah. He puts in the cross. Dogu heads it out to Saka. Saka into Ødegaard, if I'm correct. Ødegaard kind of pokes one through, tries to get into Timber. Martinez marking the man, not focusing on actually the ball, deflects into the net, own goal. So that's the first goal. And Arsenal are in quite a good position. Now, if I had to tell you, after that point, Arsenal looked nervous as hell, you'd think, why? They're 1-0 up. They're at the Emirates. They're at home. You've gone 1-0 up. You've been dominating the play. Surely you should go on and put this game to bed. And that's a lot of the weeks I've been watching Arsenal. That's one of the things that I would say is really missing, is going for the killer goal and putting games to bed. And open play goals. Big talk about from not just our fans, but around other fans, Arsenal's lack of creativity and scoring from open play. And today, look, let's be honest, it was on show. It was on show. No answers again. Okay? So, as I said, that's now happened. And drawing to the last 10 minutes, I would say, of the first half, you could sense quite a nervousness from Arsenal. The way they were passing the ball, misplaced passes, overplaying, crazy touches, playing out from the back, not looking so confident. It almost looked like a lack of, I don't know, they almost seemed overconfident the way they were playing. And it was so lapsy-daisy. It was lethargic the way they were passing the ball. So if they didn't get a warning sign before that, they got 2 warning signs with Saliba with his back pass. And I think another back pass came, was it Saliba again? I've been noticing over the last couple of games, me and my friends have been talking, Saliba has been holding onto the ball just a fraction too long. And I think that's how Man United's equaliser came, if you watch it. So he puts, Saliba holds on, draws the pressure in, passes it to Zubimendi. Zubimendi's got no other option because he's received it on his left foot, which is not naturally left-footed. And he's pushed the pass into him, and the way he's almost kicked it to the keeper, and he hasn't got a lot of power. And Buemo's in, He still has a lot to do. So he's kind of done a feint, sent the keeper the wrong way, scores the goal, slots it home. Gabriel slides in late, and you know that became a theme in the game. Man United in the second half, the first 10 minutes, not much really going on. They grew into it. Arsenal making mistakes unnecessarily. These mistakes, by the way, isn't from pressure from Man United. It's literally just mistakes of touches, mistakes of passing. It's literally they had so much time on the ball. It's not like Man United were getting close and the press was crazy. It wasn't even that. It was just literally mistakes. And you started seeing that maybe Zubimendi was tired. So Arteta, I don't know. I felt he was a bit reactive than proactive if I'm looking at it. And that's what my big issue is with Arteta. If I'm looking at any issues I have with him, I feel like he's a very reactive manager, not a proactive. And we kind of got that against Chelsea. You could see Chelsea, you know, I feel like these managers, they were reacting like, well, Rossinha, he did what he did, and then Arteta reacted. I feel like Arsenal didn't control the game, and he was just... So then it gets to about, you know, I think about 51 minutes in, Fernandes, Dogu, some good passages of play, one touch, little passing on the edge of the box. Dogu controls it. Supposedly people are calling out handball. I'm not buying it. I'm sorry. Good hit. Hits the crossbar straight in. And look, Raya had no chance of saving it. It was a wonderful goal. Let's not take it away from Dogu. He had a good game today. Okay. Nextly, as Arsenal fans, we've watched Arteta all season. We've seen it get to the 55-minute mark, and all you just want to see is a bit of control from your manager. So now we've seen something we've never seen him do. He's gone for a quadruple substitution. Now, the players that he's decided to take off, Zubimendi, fair enough. I think he had a bit of a shaky game. I think he's played the most minutes in the last couple of games anyway, so he was looking a bit leggy. Odegaard wasn't really penetrating the lines, wasn't really productive with the final ball, and didn't connect the play. In Capier, I think they wanted something different because, you know, Ben White kind of brings something different if you're going to bring on Gyökeres. And then, obviously, they've taken off Gabriel Jesus. The players that came on was, as I said, Ben White, Eze, Moreno, and Gyökeres. If I'm completely honest, I absolutely, in the first 15 minutes, I saw absolutely no change, no difference. And then that goes to show me, I feel he just felt like, I have all this luxury on the bench. I'm just going to throw them all on and see what happens. Hope for the best. In fact, I said, this isn't the kind of game you bring Eze in. And I was right, because you could see he didn't have an influence. He looks low on confidence, and he has been for the last couple games. I don't know if he's been told to play, you know, in a certain way where it's like almost jump back into your box, where we move as a unit. He just kept on drifting around he kept on doing unnecessary circles because he didn't want to lose the ball. I know in these kind of games, he's the kind of guy you're like, yep, if you want to punch passes through, I'm going to bring on Eze. If you want to take on a man, I'm going to bring this guy on. He doesn't look anywhere like the Eze we saw at Crystal Palace. Now, over time, I hope we do see some forms, and we have seen glimpses. We've seen it in the Crystal Palace game where he's had moments and he scored. We've seen it in the Spurs game where he's had moment and he scored. But I think from this and from the last game that we've seen during the week, or the last couple from Odegaard, I think Eze needs to start. And obviously, I do understand that, you know, the defensive side of Eze needs to become better, and how he keeps the ball, it needs to also become better. But there's only one way of becoming better, and that's playing your £68 million signing you bought in the summer. Because right now, he's so low on confidence. I'll be honest, when I heard Hincapié and Calafiori were both fit, I was actually hoping Calafiori started, because I don't know what it is, what Calafiori does, he just brings something so different to the Arsenal lineup that I feel like no one else offers. The inverted role is so unpredictable from Nketiah. You could see him literally up front. Nketiah isn't really like that. He is more straight down the line, puts in a cross, and he's that kind of left back. And he's not naturally a left back, which is fair enough. Skelly, I feel he hasn't looked to his best since last season, and he's pretty low on confidence, so hence why he was never going to play in this pressured game, which would have probably been too much, which was the right call. But as I said, when these substitutions came on, I didn't realise a change at all. Arsenal are currently 2-1 down. You're at home. No patterns of play. No patterns of play. So I'm thinking, okay, let's see what's going to happen. So he's decided to then take off Trossard because Trossard, I felt, kept on giving away the ball. The game got away from Trossard. He brought on Noni, which was different because I actually thought Martinelli, this is his kind of game. Get Martinelli in the game. This is where, you know, he likes to pop up and get those 1 or 2 goals like Marino. I think Martinelli would have been disappointed not to play. And I don't know whether that's a message to him, perhaps for a lot of misses he has missed over the last couple games. But yeah, it was pretty crazy not to see Martinelli not get any minutes. But anyway, from that point, they moved Saka out actually to the left, and they moved Noni out to the right. So what you were seeing is, okay, we've got our number 10 on. No, so we've got our number 9 in Gyökeres. We need to get the ball into the box. So obviously you could see that he wanted a natural left foot on the left side to literally whip in the ball. He also wanted Noni, who always just gets to the bar line and looks to cross it anyway. It didn't pay off. We never even saw any of that. We never saw any of that. And in those moments, Arsenal are guilty of not having those players right now of getting them out of trouble. There's no players that, fair enough, Moreno, look, Arsenal, again, they started getting corners. They scored from a set piece. It made it 2-2. So now you're thinking, okay, 6-7 minutes to go. Can Arsenal nick it? And you know what? Looking back on it, you would, if we won 3-2, you would have been like, oof, that was a close one. My point is, would the questions have really been answered if Arsenal went on to win 3-2? I don't think so. I think everyone would have been like, good game, 3-2. I think this now forces Arteta to reassess the way he's playing and the way he's so comfortable with the passages of play going from left to right and just keeping it in front of the opposition team, not really doing anything. And you could tell teams that are very well organised are happy to sit off and happy to absorb what's going on until they feel maybe after 30 minutes, we're going to nick the ball. We're going to counter them, which is predictable from what Man United came to do. You should know that. This is what they came to do. I haven't seen enough of Arsenal be unpredictable this season. Hence why, if they didn't win the league, it would be due to that. It wouldn't be due to the players they have. I feel they are so predictable that you just know how to set up against Arsenal. And they need to come away from that sooner or later, or this title that they plan on delivering after 22 years will come crashing down. And shall I be completely honest with you, looking at the camera right now, I'm not sure if Arsenal don't deliver this trophy this year, or a trophy that's significant, and everyone knows what I mean by significant, I'm not sure how a lot of that team will recover. I'm not sure. I'm not even sure if the manager can recover. That would be too many years in a row of being nearly. Us as fans, it's already hard for us to deal with our local people, work colleagues, or whatever it is. But for you as players to go 3-4 times and not actually get over the line, look, me as a professional or being in a sport, that will really psychologically play with you. It will play with you. If you can't get over the line, it will play with you. There's no denying that. And we don't need to tell them this. They know this already. They would have gone back there tonight. And what I really want to see from champions right now is, or champions to be, is understand where you went wrong, come back next week, put on a show, turn up. There's nothing wrong with losing. That's the third game, I think, of the season Arsenal have lost. But yeah, anyway, let's get into the third goal. So I think Arsenal, obviously, they were trying to press for the winner, got caught out. You had Mainu into Cunha. Cunha had space on the edge of the box, looked up, took a shot. And you know what? Man United have actually got a knack for scoring wonder goals. If you lot remember a couple of years back when Rashford hit one from miles out, I feel Man United have got a knack for actually scoring crazy goals at the Emirates. If you know the history, you'll know even Ronaldo, Champions League, like they scored quite a couple bangers there. But I was super confident today, not just because we haven't lost the game at home, we haven't actually lost a game to Man United in the league, I think, since 2017, which is quite significant. And mentally, that's a lot for a team to overcome, you know, especially when you can't even beat them at the Emirates, let alone anywhere in the Premier League. So when that goal went in to make it 3-2, and literally, I'll be honest, maybe just the added time left in the game, you could just tell, deflated, whole team finished. Literally, energy just sucked out of them. Even the stadium, it's like the stadium lost its air. That's the way it felt, and I wasn't even there. But I can imagine if I was in the stadium, it's like probably witnessing someone's died. And I think as Arsenal, as an Arsenal fan, we need to do better to get behind our team, because nothing is won in January. We need to acknowledge that. Yes, we're not completely happy with the way Arsenal are currently playing and their league form, drawn to, and now you've lost one, but we can't give them that kind of energy where it's just like we've gone behind or we're up against it and it's in the air. It's in the air. You've got to be positive, supportive to our team at this stage. They're going through it. It's hard. It's not easy. We haven't delivered a title in 22 years. It's never going to be easy. In fact, a lot of the Invincibles and legends say that, you know, this will be the hardest thing to do because Arsenal haven't won in so long. This is a huge achievement, what you're trying to achieve. And you need to remember that. And sometimes special moments are for special players. Now, I felt today was Eberici Eze's chance to prove to Arteta why he should be chosen up against, started ahead of Ødegaard. I don't think he did a good job of showing that. He didn't showcase that. I'm not even sure, and you guys tell me in the comments, who do you think should start? I think if you guys were to all comment, I think you would be all split, because I don't know what number 10 should be starting at the minute, if I'm honest. So I was a bit disappointed with the way the game went. 3-2. As I said, I don't want to overreact because it is still January, but Arsenal definitely need to pick themselves up. Our rivals have still got some hard matches. Aston Villa picked up a result this weekend at St James's Park, which was good. Obviously, I feel like at the Etihad, Man City versus Wolves, they picked up a result which everyone pretty much expected them to win. Man City have got some hard games. Okay, they're going to face a Spurs team that's not currently on form, but that will be a hard game because that is their bogey team. So hopefully that will be hard enough. And then they go to Anfield after that. So all's not lost in terms of if Arsenal focus on their next games and win. Now, just looking at it. Sorry, I should actually know this off head. Where is it? Look at it next. I want to know who Arsenal are playing, because this will be interesting. Obviously, they got that Champions League game midweek. Okay, they've got Leeds at home. And now, going to Leeds' stadium is never easy. You got Leeds at home, and then you got Sunderland at home. Okay, do I think they're winnable games to newly promoted teams? I do think Arsenal, if you are going to win the league, you need to take 6 points from those two games. You have to. Those are the non-negotiables. After this terrible run of form, which we can accept, every title-winning side has had a bad run. This isn't so bad because you're still 4 points ahead, but it's how you recover and pick yourself up from it. Arsenal need to go in there and show why they are going for the title and why they are going to win something big and make history this year. They have the players to do it, even though sometimes I'm not sure of Arteta's tactical nous. I believe he can deliver a big trophy for Arsenal this season, but they need to start doing and showing character. I believe in my team. I'm fully behind them. I believe they can get over the line. You guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'm gonna be you're gonna be seeing me again. I think it's at Caricat during the week, and we'll talk about that. Arsenal are pretty much through, but yeah, like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks.